Hey guys, what's going on? Peter Cruz here. Just wanted to introduce you to Chapter 1 of my the Atlantis Chronicles. Excuse me. The behind-the-scenes look of me recording my the Atlantis Suite CD. Anyway, this is going to be like a little overview of guess me setting up the projects and what I'm going to be doing as far as I guess down the road and looking forward a little bit. So I've been having some issues with the screen capture software and the audio, so I'm having to kind of improvise. So hopefully this video comes out okay. So if you have any problems with viewing it on YouTube, of course, please comment below and let me know if I need to take any corrective action. I've got some of my quick little items back down over here, which I won't go into right now because they're really not of any importance at this given moment. But this is just some of the stuff that I'll be using. This is my UAD 2 control panel for my plugins on my powered DSP plugins in my computer. Is X2, and this here is Guitar Rig 5 and TH2, which is of course the guitar simulate guitar amp modeling stuff and so forth. And then over here I got my iLok for some of my plugins, the iLok software. And this is the mix control for the Sapphire Pro 40, which allows you to route your ins and outs accordingly depending on what you need. But since I'm working alone, I don't really need to use it a whole lot. So for the most part I just leave it alone. But if I was mixing several people and they were doing live tracking and they needed a specific monitor mix, then that's where I would go and create, excuse me, monitor mixes for them to hear a specific monitor mix as they're actually tracking. There are great tutorials on YouTube, some by Focusrite and some by some other individuals on YouTube. Go check that out if that's what if that's what you want to see. But I really won't be touching much on mix control at all. Let me go into Sonar X2, and I've got a project already loaded up here, and I've essentially created a whatchamacallit, a template for my projects, and I've also created templates for my tracks, basically to try to streamline the process of getting up and running and recording ASAP. Nothing kills the moment more than getting picking up your guitar, plugging in, and then having to load up your software to record the idea, and then have to sit there and route the right outputs, and then get your amp on or whatever, and then go into the software and create a track, insert audio track, put guitars, and then if I can spell, see, I'm killing the moment already. And then go in here and then go to my I got inputs I can't read, so let me go to input. Let me go into, I guess I'll do my red box output, my for the interface. I don't think I need any effects, and sit there, hit the record button, and then go ahead and get going. Well, I just killed all that time getting all that set up. So what I basically have done is I've created, and I'm not sure if the other softwares, other software DAWs will do this. I'm sure they probably do. Sonar's done it, and I've really gotten used to it, and it's really convenient. But Pro Tools or Logic or Studio One, I mean, I'm sure it's a feature that they have available. Please check your documentation. This really isn't a tutorial on how to do this stuff here in Sonar. There are tutorials for that on YouTube as well, which is not really the scope of this this video. So I'll pull up my tab over here in my little browser and go over here to let's see here, Atlantis Suite. Hello, where am I here? Here we go, Atlantis Neptune 4-pack. That's what I've called it, and I'll just drag and drop it right over here, and it will create 4 tracks for me, all named Neptune, which is this way I know which guitar I'll be picking up. And then I've got 4 outputs or 4 routings that I can actually select from. This one's already preset to using the red box out of my TubeMeister, and you see TubeMeister picture there. I've got one set up here for a DI if I want to plug straight into my Sapphire Pro 40, and this is an oversight. I probably should have done loaded up a version, a instance of Guitar Rig, which I won't bother with right now because, but it would probably be bypassed because this DI, for the purposes of the Atlantis Suite, is actually going to be a true DI signal that's going to be recorded. So if I need later to reamp the signal, I've got a clean DI to play with. But in the case I wanted to do something with guitar rig or something like that, I've actually got this one here under reference material. It just happened to be there. And it's already preset. All I got to do is turn on guitar rig here and plug in the guitar, and I'm ready to rock and roll. But I'm going to disable that for right now. And I'll get into this folder here in just a second. Or if I want to plug into my isolation cabinet, hook up the tube meister into the isolation cabinet, I'll just go ahead and use this one here, hit record, and I'm ready to go and just literally just grab the microphone cable, plug it into an input, and I'm into the input I've already preset on this, and it's good to go. Or if I want to plug into the Dark Terror instead, this has already been preset to use with the Dark Terror, which, by the way, goes through the isolation cabinet as well. This isolation cabinet track is for the use with the Tube Meister. But anyway, so that streamlines that process there. If I want to go into do my bass guitar, when I get ready to start doing my bass, I go to Atlantis Bass DI, and these are all presets I've just created myself. And bada bing, and I literally just plug the bass straight into the Sapphire Pro 40 and hit the record button, and I'm laying tracks down for the Atlantis suite. If I want to use my other guitar, Andra, which is my black carbon, for the rhythm tracks and so forth, because I'm going to double tracks with each different guitar to kind of add to the fatness of the overall sound. Just drag that, and just like we did with the first set of 4-pack I did, I got a 4-pack here with the other guitar. Same inputs, I just basically just duplicated the templates, but renamed them so I know what guitar I'll be using. This way when I come mix down, I'll know I can put this guitar on one side, that guitar on the other, and I can pan them accordingly to really add to the fatness. So other than that, I've already got a drum set up here inside the software. I've got that in its own folder, Stephen Slate Drums 4. And I've got kick, snare, toms, hi-hats, blah, 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 all the way down, and a section here for the MIDI data. So basically when I get down to it, I'll go into, whoops, hold on. I'll pull up, let's see, MIDI grooves. I can go into Groove Monkey, grab me a metal, and grab a groove, just drag it over here. And there, I've got drums ready to rock and roll. So, and then if I want to if I'm really lazy and just in the early stages of tracking, I'll actually go on here, turn groove clip looping, and now I can sit. I'm going to decrease the size of this. Here we go. Make it a little bit easier to manage. And now since it's already been groove clip looped, I can just drag it way out. Oh, okay, fail. Let me do this right. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Look at that. And I could drag this on forever, and just to kind of lay my tracks down. This way I've got a steady tempo to go work with. And then when I get all my basic tracks down, I'll go back in and I'll edit this MIDI data with fills and with breaks and stuff like that to actually do correctly do the song. But for the very first tracks I'll be laying down, guitars, bass, the early rhythm tracks, I'll actually be just find appropriate loop or whatever, just drag it right on out. So that's what I'll do with that there. I'm gonna back this out. Okay. And of course that'll all route through Stephen Slate Drums, which I've got the plugin set up over here. And of course I'll have my kit already set up. It's called Atlantis. And then of course as you start hitting different drums and so forth, you'll see them popping up on the mixer all on different channels, which is really how you want to mix it anyway. And other than that, as we get closer towards mix downs and stuff like that, I'll pull up the console and take a look at, as you can see, I've already preloaded on pretty much most of the tracks. The Slate Digital, which is the virtual console collection, I've got it set currently to the SSL console, so I'm not sure if I'll go with SSL, if I'll go into the Britain N, which is the Neve console. I'm thinking Neve, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I've got it disabled right now, so I'm not using resources I don't need to use for the time being. And then in my master fader here, of course, I've got the bus the mix bus plug-in for that Slate Digital. I got my span loaded up, which allows me to see the frequency curve of what's going on. Even if I can't hear a spike, I should be able to see it on the software here. And then my final stage is I'll be using Isotopes Ozone 5 for like my mastering type stages, and dithering and so forth. Because I'm actually recording at 24-bit, 96. Megahertz and the sampling rate, and of course I'm going to have to dither down to 44.1 16-bit for exporting for CD and for iTunes and Amazon and all the other, Spotify and so forth. So that's pretty much the overview on the software. And again, I mean, whatever software you're using is fine. Just hopefully they have some of these features that will help you streamline your process. And for every recording studio, I mean, they each have a different way to go about doing stuff. And I'm not going to say my way is the right way. My way is the right way for me. So I mean, whatever works for you. I decided that I wanted something to streamline the process because I don't want to be sitting there going through menus and whatnot. When I'm in the moment, I gotta lay something down or whatever. So, and by the way, with Sonar, and I don't remember Cubase having this when I used Cubase way back in the day, but it's been a number of years since I've used Cubase. Sonar's got something here, Project Info, where I can go in and sit there and take notes or whatever in my software. In the just detailed notes as I'm going through the project, to sit there and, adding guitars or settings or whatever, and I can add it all in here and it gets saved with the project. So later, as I, look at mix down, or if I'm at later stages of tracking and I couldn't remember what I did, I could pull up the notes, and I usually date it so I kind of keep track of everything to try to maintain some organization. And I find it works out really, really well for me. And rather than sit there scribbling something in a notebook, I scribble in that little that project info box, and you've also got little little note boxes you can put in here as well. Although I don't usually, I usually go with this one right over here, just to kind of keep it all in one spot. And that's pretty much all I had for today, guys. Appreciate you stopping by. If you have any questions, or if something wasn't clear, if I went over something too fast, or if you wanted me to expand on something, please go ahead and put a note down below. Go ahead and comment and say, hey, what's up with this, or what's up with that. And also make sure you subscribe, because when I do the giveaways end of September, actually it was October 2nd, I think, was the actual official date that I put up on the last video. You'll be entered to win automatically. So, and I'll be selecting winners at random on October 2nd. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Stay tuned for more videos from the Atlantis Chronicles. Thanks again, guys. Peter Cruz signing off. Peace.